Hey guys, this is Jack with Team Empire, and today we're covering the 3 new Stoicheia cards that were revealed for Fated Clash, which is the first set in the DivineZ series. 2 of those cards being Magnolia Support, or Sylvanhorn Beasts, and one of them being the Cycle card for Stoicheia. So without any further ado, let's just jump straight into it. I mean, y'all know that I love Magnolia. It's one of my favorite decks in Standard, so naturally I was looking forward to this one, and thankfully, the cards are very good, and the Cycle card is also very good. Even if it had just that first effect, I would still probably run in most of my lists. Let's cover that one. It is Sea Rumbling Brave Shooter. It has the same first effect as the Dark States one that was covered in Lupe's video, and just like he said in that video, all of the Cycle cards in DivineZ Set 1 will be having this same first effect that interacts with energy. When this card is put on Guardian Circle from hand or discarded from hand while riding from the ride deck, you can pay cost Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3 to draw a card. So again, that's just an amazing skill all around for pretty much any of the decks we have right now. I think there's only like a few decks, either because of space issues or because of resource issues, that you just can't play this card in. But for most decks, you can just splash this card in there. Pretty much always use the draw effect, whether you're discarding it in the early game or guarding with it in the later game. Just a very nice card all around. And then, has the second effect of auto when this unit plays in a Riga Circle. If you Persona Road this turn, cost Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3. Choose a grade 2 or less normal unit with a different card name from this unit and without Sentinel from your drop, or an order card from your drop. Put it into your hand and choose a card from your hand and discard it. So the discard I really don't like, but I do kind of understand why it's like that, because of Mushi King, because you can just add an order card to your hand, like either the Wandering Souls or one of their orders they need to pitch to activate the second parts of their skills. I do kind of understand that it's more for a balancing thing. On top of that, this is just a really wide range of targets. Any grade 2 or less non-sentinel or not named this unit, you can get it from your hand easily. And some of those cards also have revival skills when they're placed from hand, so you can grab something like a Diantha, which can also revive something, which is really powerful. And also, it's Energy Blast, meaning it's basically free, or any order, and this is something I really like. A lot of Stoicheia cards, they interact exclusively with normal orders, and I don't really like that for certain decks. Like certain decks you play like Blitz orders, and I want to be able to recover those Blitz orders back, whether you play the Fine Wine of Abolishment, or you play stuff like the Blitz order from set 13, I forgot its name, or if you milled Elementaria. I mean, sometimes Zorga can mill Elementaria, so being able to grab Elementaria back is really amazing. On top of that, it grabs set orders. So Maelstrom, this is a really good card for that deck, not only for the cycles, but also being able to recover your set orders back into your hand, because sometimes you have to discard those. So overall, a very powerful cycle card. I can't wait to play this in like all my Stoicheia decks. It's going to be a great card to have. Now we're moving on to the Magnolia Support, which the first one we have is the double rare for the deck. It is Sylvanhorn Beast Ikoan, who has the effect auto when this is placed in a Riga Circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name, cost Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand, search your deck or drop for up to 1 card with Magnolia and its different card name from your Vanguard, or up to 1 grade 0 normal order, reveal it and put it into your hand. And if you searched your deck, you shuffle your deck. So a Wild Intelligence Searcher certainly wasn't the thing I was expecting for Magnolia in 2024, but I'm not going to say that it wasn't welcome. I mean, the fact that they even made Wild Intelligence searchable makes me want to play that order. So it accomplished one thing, and Wild Intelligence certainly isn't bad if you're playing with Elder. Speaking of Elder, these 2 cards, we'll cover the second card in a second, but these 2 cards are very obviously here to support Magnolia Elder, as specifically with this card, you don't really need to play this in Masques. I mean, Masques already plays Sorol, and Sorol, true, it's top 5, but it also has that amazing back row Persona Ride effect. And most lists already play like 2 to 3 Sorol, so you're bound to find Magnolias eventually. On top of that, they do have the Mask of Hydra, which can search, obviously, Magnolia Masques. So this is more a guaranteed search for Elder. which is really great. I mean, I love that effect because there are sometimes I have in Largolf, which is the cycle card from set 13, who needs to reveal a grade 4 from your hand or have a grade 4 on Vanguard in order to activate its effect. So if you never see Magnolia Elder, that card is effectively dead in your hand. So playing 1 to 2 of this could actually help you turn anything into a 5th copy basically a 5th copy of Magnolia Elder or a 2nd copy of Wild Intelligence. So yeah, I actually really like the card. On top of that, let's just go over the discard. This card does seem really rough, but if you're playing like Inlet Pulses or Guildotes, being able to pitch those can be very nice, so you can revive them off of the next card we're about to talk about. On top of that, Soul Blasting 1, the same principle. If you put Guildote in Soul, you can Soul Blast it off this thing and then call it back later, and the same goes for Inlet Pulses. So while the card seems kind of just alright on first glance, it's actually a lot better than I gave it credit for. Now let's cover the last card, which is the triple rare, and looks really cool. I love that we got like a lion, that's so cool. It's Sylvanhorn Beast Banaspati, who has the effect auto when placed on Rigard Circle other than during the battle phase, cost Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1, choose one of your vanguards with Sylvanhorn Beast in its card name, and for every 2 grades of that unit, choose a grade 3 or less card with a different card name from this unit from your drop and call it to Rigard Circle. And it has a second effect, Auto Rigard Circle. When this unit attacks, choose one of your vanguards with Sylvanhorn Beast in its card name, and for every 2 grades of that unit, this unit gets power plus 5k until end of that battle. So, I like the card a lot, just in general. I mean, being able to have your own Force Grow for Magnolia Elder is very powerful. And it's also a lot cheaper than Force Grow. You're probably thinking, why would I say that? Because Force Grow is only 1 CB, while this is a CB and a Soul Blast. The reason I say that is because Force Grow is actually more depending on how many Dragon Tree markers you've had to make that game. Because if you have 2 Dragon Tree markers, Force Grow is effectively 3 CB, since you already need to pay 2 CB to get your Dragon Tree markers on board. This, no matter what, it only caps at 2 later in the game, but it's the same cost every time. So that's why I really like it. On top of that, it does clear out the soul, which I talked about earlier with the last card. You can get your Inlet Pulses and your Guildotes out of the soul and be able to call it off of this effect. Third, with that first effect that I really love, is that it's basically yet another way to get Friendship Fairy onto the board. Because one of the most consistent ways of getting Friendship Fairy onto the board when you play it in the Ride deck is using your Enlargolf. But the problem with Enlargolf is that you needed to, first of all, have it, and also have the Magnolia in hand. While Banaspati doesn't fix that second issue, it does actually fix the first issue. It basically acts as another version of Enlargolf to call out your Friendship Fairies on turn 3. If you have a Magnolia Elder in hand, then you can use Friendship Fairy to obviously ride into the Magnolia early. On top of that, the second effect is also very nice. Effectively a 25k attacker when you're on Elder. And even if you're not on Elder, it's still a 15k attacker or a 20k attacker if you target it with Magnolia's effect, which normally you're not going to do, but you could. Now let's clear another elephant in the room. This does not say Magnolia, it says Sylvanhorn Beast, but I'm going to be real with you, I'm not too keen on playing the Magnolia ride line, not only because their skills to call cards from top of the deck is pretty awful, but also Friendship Fairy is the linchpin of the ride line now. If you're going second, calling Friendship Fairy out from the drop as soon as possible and then using its effect to ride to the grade 4 is essential, so I don't really feel like this is needed, and if you did play it, it would only clog up your deck with more Friendship Fairies. I'm not saying it wouldn't be decent, because this can be a 15k attacker on turn 3, and that's one thing that Magnolia always kind of struggled with. It's having good early game. Most of the time you don't have a great early game, you just plop your card down, you swing and pass. But I'd much rather do that to guarantee the late game, rather than play this card, have a worse ride line, and just for a little bit better of an early game. So at least that's my standpoint on it. Let me know what y'all think about it. But with that being said, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know what y'all think about the 2 Magnolia Elder support cards. I really like them. I think they're really good. I think they fulfill certain niches for the deck. On top of that, with their combination of skills and stuff like Wild Intelligence that Evil Kevin searches, and the calling that Banaspati does, you can rebuild boards so easily in Elder now. Like, you can straight up just intercept with most of your board now, and then just call them right back out. That's how easy it is to rebuild boards in this deck. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the set 1 reveals so far for DivineZ. Honestly, the cards not only feel like strong, but they feel interesting, which is something that I can't say for all sets. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.